did is just soften it and tweak it a little bit. It was the same thing. It wasn't a big stick, it was a reasonable sized stick. And now what they've called it is the Stronger Futures Framework. So we see the intervention is a bit of a grates on people. It's changed to the Stronger Futures. They talk about working futures. It's the same thing. They've done away with the Community Development and Employment Scheme. So young people now get unemployment benefit or sit-down money for doing nothing. In the past, they had to work, and that's how many of the ranger activities started. The intervention is still there. Whether it's the Liberal government or the Labor government, their policies are the same.
So they've actually forcibly resettled the Aboriginal community to different so-called ideal scenarios in different parts. How can you force people to move?
You can't force them, but what you do is you just cut services off. So like on Jack's homeland on the Nicholson, there's no schooling. There's no homeland school, and they say to the parents, if you don't send your children to school, we will stop your pensions or send you to prison. So therefore they have to move off their homelands and move into overcrowded housing in town. And then when they're away from the country, they're not passing ecological knowledge, not managing the country, not involved in ceremonial activity. So it's done very subtly.
So this is not publicized, because the first time hearing of this, I don't think I'm the only one.
No, the government talks about closing the gap strategy, and it's all about statistics. All you'll hear them is talking about statistics, not the details. We know that unemployment is growing in Aboriginal communities. It's not shrunk. The research will probably show that the gap is getting wider and not narrowing.
So you're very knowledgeable in this area. Why don't you get the message out?
The media doesn't want to know the message. You read the Australian newspaper. They've got something in mind. It's all about mining. Twiggy Forest, 50,000 jobs, they say. They haven't come up with nearly, 1,000.
So how, isn't there an underground? How can you get the word out to the people?
There is an underground, and we're part of the underground being here.
We'll take another question. I think actually the guy in the corner. Oh, over there. All right.
I think he was first.
Yep, the one here.
I think he was first. Yeah.
I just wanted to point out something. I get a publication called Justice Trends, and it said that at the end of last year, the Yolngu Nations Assembly put out a detailed statement against the intervention, and I never heard anything about it apart from this Justice Trends. It's all over the internet, but you can find it there, of course. But here's a detailed breakdown of the intervention and why it was so bad. And this was a group of the